Introducing to you a universal channel expert advisor created by the ProfRoboTrading team. This expert advisor is designed to work with MT4 and MT5 and can operate with various channel indicators. A mandatory requirement for using indicators in this universal channel expert advisor is the presence of two channel boundary buffers, and preferably a median buffer, as this is one of the three options for closing positions. You can find this information in the external settings parameters of any indicator. By default, the expert advisor uses the standard Bollinger Bands channel indicator installed in the trading terminal. Please note that there are two versions of this indicator in the terminal. One has 3 buffers, and the other does not, so we will only use the indicator that includes all 3 buffers. This indicator in the terminal is called bands, and we will be using it. In addition to this indicator, in this presentation we will be using 3 other channel indicators that have the buffers we need. Please note that the indicator name must be exactly as it is saved in the terminal, and the buffer numbers must also be correctly specified, otherwise the expert advisor will not function correctly. The Universal Channel Expert Advisor offers a convenient and simple configuration functionality. Here you can independently specify 2 periods for the expert advisor's operation. If both periods are disabled, the expert advisor will operate around the clock. To use the desired indicator, you only need to specify its name and the buffer numbers for the channel boundaries and median. The first positions are opened when the price crosses the channel boundaries, VBI at the lower boundary and VSL at the upper boundary, respectively. Subsequent positions are opened using the martingale method. To do this, the trader's settings allow you to independently set the multiplier size and the distance for opening subsequent positions, resulting in the averaging of the grid's average price from the open positions. There are 3 options for closing positions. In Strategy 1 and Strategy 2, the condition used is that the price touches the opposite channel boundary or its meridian, respectively. To ensure that positions are not closed at a loss under these conditions, the settings include a function to determine the profit amount in pizzas at which this condition should be executed. The third option for closing positions is the use of take profit. In case all 3 options are enabled, positions will be closed based on the option whose conditions are met first. The expert advisor settings also include 2 filters for risk management. When the drawdown specified here in percentage is reached, the conditions set here will be applied. Now we will bind the indicator to our Universal Channel Expert Advisor. First, we will do this with the standard Bollinger Bands indicator. To do this, you need to enter the indicator's name in the settings line, its name as bands, and indicate the buffer numbers. In this indicator, the buy buffer is number 2, sell is number 1, and MEDINO is number 0. After specifying the indicator's name and buffer numbers in the settings, don't forget to save them. Now let's check in the tester whether our Universal Channel Expert Advisor works correctly with this indicator. Since during testing in MetaTrader 4 the screen does not display the indicator used, we will load it into the window manually. In MetaTrader 5 this happens automatically. We start testing and ensure that our expert advisor works correctly with this indicator. To link a third-party indicator to our Universal Channel Expert Advisor, you must first save it in the terminal's indicators. Please note that if this is not done, the expert advisor will operate incorrectly, and the opened positions will not follow the logic of the algorithm with the indicator you want to use. We also remind you that in the expert advisor settings the indicator's name must be entered exactly as it is saved in the terminal, and the buffer numbers of its channel boundaries and median must be correctly specified. Otherwise, the expert advisor will not work correctly. Therefore, we prefer copying its name and pasting it into the expert advisor settings field to avoid any possible error when typing it manually, as we did in the previous case. We also make sure to correctly specify the buffer numbers. In this case, These numbers are identical to those of the indicator we used first. After saving the changes, we check its performance in the tester and ensure that our expert advisor is working correctly with this indicator as well. Now, we will attach another third-party indicator to our Universal Expert Advisor channel. In this case, we will use a channel indicator with some peculiarities. Note that the color of the channel's median line changes. Such channel indicators are quite common in the market. In this indicator, the medians for these colors are handled by 3 buffers, 0, 1, and 2, which are specified in its settings. We can use such indicators in our Universal Channel Expert Advisors. Unfortunately, they are limited to the strategy of closing positions at the opposite channel boundary and by take profit, but without the median, since we cannot specify in the Expert Advisor settings all 3 buffer numbers of the indicator responsible for the different median channel colors simultaneously. If we specify any one buffer, the Expert Advisor algorithm will ignore the other 2 median buffers. Therefore, when using such indicators, it is necessary to take this peculiarity into account either when choosing the median buffer number of the channel or by disabling the strategy of closing a position on the median in the Expert Advisor settings. Just like the first time, we copy its name and paste the settings string into our Expert Advisor to avoid any possible errors when writing it manually. Do not forget to correctly specify the new indicator buffer numbers. Buffer 4 for buy and 3 for sell, and for the median, assign buffer number 2. After saving the changes, we verify its correct operation in the tester and confirm that our Expert Advisor works properly with this indicator. Now let's try to use another channel indicator in our Universal Channel Expert Advisors. This indicator has many different buffers in its settings. We only need 3 buffers, 2 for the channel boundaries and 1 for its median. In this indicator, these are buffer 4 for buy, buffer 3 for sell, and buffer 2 for the median. As in previous cases, to avoid potential errors when writing manually, we copy the name of the indicator and paste it into the settings string of our Expert Advisor, and we also make sure to correctly specify the new indicator buffer numbers and save all the new settings of the Expert Advisor. As before, we check the proper functioning of the Expert Advisor with the newly installed indicator in the tester and ensure that the position opens in accordance with the algorithm's logic at the lower boundary of the channel on a buy, with subsequent opening of averaging positions, and closes under one of the 3 conditions for closing a position included in the settings of our Universal Channel Expert Advisor. Before starting, please be sure to carefully verify the correct spelling of the indicator's name and buffer numbers you are using, as well as the proper functioning of the algorithm with this indicator, previously in the tester.